to stop popping up. Like,
do you know me?
No, I don't know you. No, I don't.
Get on my face, huh?
No.
She doing too much, dude.
You don't want to know your
women don't care, bitch.
So everybody, this is Jasmine.
That's Rashida's job? Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Jasmine, how you doing?
Tierra cool, I ain't gonna lie. I invited her, but I ain't know Tierra was gonna bring Jasmine. Why Jasmine gotta use my part of the puzzle? Damn, I'm feeling like this is deja vu.
You don't know me?
Do I? Bro, I'm out of here.
I already knew you was gonna do this.
Yo,
who else coming in here next? Is Katie fucking this motherfucker, man?
Everybody sees therapist. Nobody wants to talk about it.
I'm feeling the vibes. I'm not gonna play that. So I'm not gonna stand here and act like it's okay. I don't think it's okay.
I came here to talk to Rashida woman to woman so that my son's father can finally step up and be part of his life. But she's nowhere to be found. And as usual, her friend attacked me.
I don't think neither one of us knew that Kirk was gonna be here.
Kirk and Jack are friends, so you know Kirk is gonna be here. And what if Rashida
I'm
is
the
here?
only we didn't
You
know.
just need to stop popping up. Like,
Do you know me?
no, I don't know you, and I don't wanna. No,
Get on my face, huh?
No, you.
She doing too much, dude.
You don't want to know your
Women don't care, bitch.
Oh, you back out, bitch.
Hey, time out, listen. I done came about this salon up in the Cobb County with these white folks, and y'all ain't about to do this. Cobb County, they out here ready for this. I ain't want none of y'all to go to jail tonight, all right?
I have nothing to say to Jasmine. I've been sending my child support checks, so I don't know why she felt the need to pop up here, and I'm not sticking around to find out. I just got back in the house. I'm not trying to do anything to mess that up.
Tia, bringing Jasmine into the fold right now, everybody feels some type of way.
But why don't you have a problem with me, but you don't have a problem with him?
I'm just ready to go.
Kirk was like, Didi, he ain't just fucking raw. He up here ducking raw too. Got the fuck out of it. Ain't nobody see him. But I don't blame Kirk though. He felt the heat. I felt the heat. Nobody wanted none of that spice that was going on.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to mess up your grand opening. I apologize. Thank you for the invite.
I just wanted to be cool, I promise you.
All right.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye, bitch.
Nobody gives a little.
There was stunned stillness and astonishment among the fans. The scene was set for yet another dramatic chapter in Atlanta's love and hip-hop history, but nobody could have foreseen the explosive altercation between Spice, the fiery Jamaican dancehall artist, and Jasmine Washington, a woman with a turbulent past in the ATL scene and deep ties to rapper Scrappy. The atmosphere was electric, filled with a mixture of nervous anticipation and tension that seemed to hang thick in the air. Spice, who was known for her larger-than-life demeanor and unrepentant attitude, had already been juggling a complicated personal life, a packed work schedule, and, of course, the ongoing turmoil with her co-stars. But nothing could have prepared her for the emotional maelstrom she was about to face. Spice was seated at the table with Jasmine, a woman whose past was both admired and scorned. Jasmine had caused friction in the group in the past, and her connections to Scrappy only added more fuel to the fire. The tension between the two women had been building slowly but steadily, like a pressure cooker just waiting to explode. What started as a slight disagreement quickly spiraled into a much larger, more volatile dispute. Jasmine had once again said something that rubbed Spice the wrong way, pushing her to the edge. The room fell silent as all eyes turned toward the two women, sensing that things were about to get worse. The other women in the room shifted uncomfortably in their seats, unsure of how to react. Spice, however, was never one to hold back. Known for her sharp tongue and fiery personality, she responded with a scathing retort, her voice filled with an energy that left little room for negotiation or compromise. Each word that came from her mouth felt like a blow, brimming with intensity and emotion, as though years of bottled-up frustration were being unleashed all at once. The exchange became more heated, and the tension in the room was palpable. Spice's usual confidence and bravado were now matched by a raw, unfiltered anger that could not be ignored. It was clear that this moment, this altercation, would go down in history as one of the most intense confrontations the show had ever seen. For the other women, it was a moment of quiet observation, unsure of what would come next in this dramatic showdown between two powerful personalities. Never one to back down, Jasmine gave a similar response, her words laced with a mixture of determination and frustration. Emotions were running high as the back and forth rapidly intensified. The tension in the room was palpable, with both women caught in the throes of a fierce confrontation. The conflict between them had obviously reached a boiling point, and it was now about more than just the immediate argument. It was about pride, old grudges, and the underlying emotions that had been simmering beneath the surface for far too long, left unchecked and unresolved. Then, suddenly, it occurred. Spice, who had been holding herself back, became visibly angry after being clearly upset by Jasmine's tone. Without thinking, she swung her hand out in a blur of motion and slapped Jasmine quickly and sharply across the cheek. The sound of the slap was loud and jarring, and the room fell into an eerie silence. Everyone in the room stood frozen, unable to fully comprehend what had just happened. The boom of the slap reverberated in their ears, a physical manifestation of the storm that had been brewing for so long. Jasmine stood motionless, gripping her cheek in shock, as if the pain had not yet registered. Her expression was a mix of surprise and incredulity, and she did not react right away. Spice, similarly taken aback by her own behavior, stood for a moment, her breath coming in rapid, sharp gasps. The rawness of the moment was impossible to ignore. The slap wasn't just a physical altercation, it was a release, a manifestation of the pent-up frustration, anger, and rage that had been accumulating for months, if not longer. It was as though the slap was a culmination of everything both women had been feeling but had been unable to express. For what seemed like an eternity, there was silence in the room. Nobody understood how to react, torn between the need to intervene and the knowledge that in this moment, they couldn't go back in time. It was Jasmine who spoke first, her voice breaking the silence, still digesting what had just transpired. Despite her quiet tone, her voice was laced with hurt, and there was an undeniable weight to her words. She spoke with a trembling but firm resolve as she continued, "You don't have to do that." Spice, who had always been as sentimental as she was fiery, had little to say in response. Her own emotions were in turmoil, and the weight of the moment was heavy on both of them. The two women were silent for a moment before Spice spoke. But her words lacked the often assured assurance that was typically a hallmark of her demeanor. Her tone softened, as though she realized the seriousness of what had just transpired, and she mumbled, "I just couldn't take it anymore." What had initially seemed like a moment of unadulterated passion quickly transformed into the kind of explosive reality TV scene that would go viral in a matter of hours, captured by the cameras, which recorded every second of their exchange. The consequences of the smack were nothing short of spectacular. Following the incident, both women would discuss their sentiments in the aftermath. Spice admitted that she had acted out of rage, acknowledging the emotional buildup that had led to the confrontation, while Jasmine, appropriately, made it clear that she never deserved to be treated that way. Fans and cast members could not agree when the program aired, and social media erupted in mixed reactions. Some took Jasmine's side, denouncing the violence and questioning whether such behavior should be acceptable in the pursuit of entertainment. Others, however, stood by Spice, empathizing with her frustrations and recognizing that her annoyance had stemmed from long-standing issues that had built up over time. This particular moment would be indelibly etched into the lives of both Spice and Jasmine, leaving an undeniable mark on their experience on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It would serve as a stark reminder that, in the world of reality television, emotions run far deeper than what the cameras can capture, and sometimes, events unfold so quickly that nobody has a chance to intervene before things spiral out of control. There was stunned stillness and disbelief among fans who had watched the scene unfold. For many, it was a defining moment that changed the way they viewed the show. It set the stage for yet another dramatic chapter in Atlanta's Love and Hip Hop history, with a storyline that no one had predicted. What had seemed like a typical reality show conflict escalated into something far more intense, marking the explosive altercation between Spice, the fiery and unapologetic Jamaican dancehall artist, and Jasmine Washington, a woman with a complex and turbulent past in the Atlanta music scene. Jasmine's connection to rapper Scrappy only added to the tension, creating a web of personal history and unresolved drama that ultimately made the confrontation even more explosive. As the dust settled and the fans processed what they had witnessed, it became clear that this moment would not be forgotten anytime soon. The impact of this altercation would reverberate not only within the confines of the show, but also in the broader cultural landscape. People debated the ethics of reality television, questioning whether the industry had crossed a line in its quest for sensational moments. The anxiety in the air was palpable, a thick tension that seemed to weigh on everyone present. Spice, who was well known for her unrepentant demeanor and exaggerated nature, had been juggling a lot of things in her life. Between personal struggles, her work, and of course the ongoing drama with her co-stars, it had been a turbulent time. She was about to experience an emotional maelstrom that nothing could have prepared her for. Spice was sitting with Jasmine, who had previously caused friction among some of the women in the group. Tensions had been building for weeks, and today it was about to reach a breaking point. Jasmine, admired and despised for her behavior, had a complex history with the group, including her previous involvement with Scrappy. This history, combined with her bold personality, had created an underlying sense of irritation, especially for Spice, who had been quietly fuming over past grievances. A dispute over something small sparked the beginning of what would become an intense argument. There was a noticeable shift in the room as Jasmine said something that clearly irritated Spice. The other women, who had been sitting in relative silence, began to feel the pressure mounting. They exchanged uneasy glances, sensing that things were about to get much worse. Spice, never one to hold back, responded with a scathing remark. Every word she spoke was filled with fervor, leaving little room for compromise or discussion. Jasmine, equally stubborn and unyielding, fired back with a similar retort. The back and forth rapidly intensified, and it became clear that this wasn't just a disagreement anymore. It had evolved into a clash of pride, old grudges, and long-simmering resentments that neither woman was willing to let go of.